Hey, what's going on, YouTubers and MicroGrinders out from MicroGrinder.com, back with another episode for Jackpot Poker Series. This is going to be episode 4, and I'm already in the middle of a couple tournaments near the tail end of them. Now, in terms of how these tournaments are going, I am a huge deficit to both of my opponents, but that's okay. They both doubled up early, and I've been card dead. Overall, just been playing my game. I haven't played any tournaments since our last video that I created a while ago, Queen 8 off. Queen 8 off is going to be around 5 big blinds or less. So I'm just going to fold. I'm not going to raise. I'm following my standard chart that I always use for all my other videos. Here I'm just going to fold as well. If I double up here, I'm going to be in the chip lead, so I'm just going to pick my spot. This guy can be pretty spazzy, so I just want to get a semi-decent hand. And for the most part, I don't mind folding until I get something. I still have 12 big blinds, so I have a few ways to go before I get blinded out pretty far. 7 big blinds. Jack 7 off is actually within my 5 big blind range, so I'm still going to fold this. Unfortunately, I'm not going to raise. The lowest I would go based upon this chart is Jack 9 off, so I'm just going to fold. He's been folding a lot as well. 2-5 suited, again, not within my range. 5-6 off, not within my range. So I'm just trying to survive until I get a decent hand where I can make a move. And here, if I double up a couple times, I'm going to be back in the tournament. So now I'm down to 5 big blinds. I have to make a move. A Queen 4 suited is definitely going to be within my range for 5 big blinds or less. And with pocket deuces, I'm just going to jam all in. Pocket sixes, again, we're going all in. Pretty easy snap call. He's got 3 outs or a spade draw. Just had to fade a king or a deuce, and we're going to double up. So we're back in this tournament. Here we do end up picking up a top pair, so it's good for us. And I'm just going to jam the turns. This will be pot committed on the river anyways. Flop is not the best flop in the world. I don't expect to get that many folds, so I'm just going to check to try to control the size of the pot. If he bets the turn, I'm going to fold because I don't expect him to be bluffing that often. And if I do call, I'm pretty much committing myself to the pot. Pocket king's perfect situation to be in here. Hope he spazzes out. We're just going to 3-bet him to... let's just do 220. We don't have to make it too big. And perfect flop just to jam all in. And he's drawn to a 10. And just like that, we have the chip lead. So again, I'm just not playing too crazy, just keeping myself in the tournament. Here, I was down to 5 big blinds. Now I'm up to 12. Here, I was down to like 10 big blinds as well. Here, I'm just going to snap call with king, queen. We got him crushed. He has to fade a jack. Just have to fade a 6 or a jack, and we take down this tournament. So it ends up working out. Yeah, pretty awesome. Ends up working out there. King 4 off with 8 big blinds. King 4 off, I would be jamming with 5 big blinds or less. So here, I'm just going to fold. I'm just going to buy my time, wait for a better hand, and if it doesn't work out, then, I'm not just going to jam way too light. King deuce suited, however, king deuce suited would be jamming for 7 big blinds. We're at 8 big blinds, so I think it's close enough. A7 off, definitely jamming unless he jams all in pre-flop. He's been folding a lot. When he's jamming pre-flop, he typically has a strong hand, so I am folding there. If he was just trying to steal my blinds just crazily, relentlessly, then in that circumstance, I probably would make a move. Jack 6 off, not even in within my jamming range on the button at all, even for less than 5 big blinds. This is definitely within my jamming range. And there we go. We'll just be jamming. So you notice when he min raises, he'll fold. However, when he has a stronger hand, he's just jamming. A queen 9 off. Queen 9 off would be for 7 big blinds or less. We're pretty close, so I'm just going to make the move. Hopefully he doesn't have something near the top of his range. Definitely can't do anything with this hand. but he ends up folding, so it works out to our advantage. Back up to 10 big blinds. Awesome hand here just to get it in, but unfortunately he folds. I don't mind getting that half of my blind back. 8-6 off, can't do anything with that. Queen 10 off, yeah, definitely going to be a hand I'm jamming, but he's just folding a lot of hands, so thanks for keeping me in it. King 5 off, I am not going to be opening. So I'm not going to be opening anything. I'm just going to be jamming or folding. A6 off, definitely within my jamming range for 10 big blinds or less. King 10 off, same thing, unless he goes all in. And he snaps us, so he ends up having queen, so we are drawing to a king. And with the 7-9 suited, I think I'm going to flat call. We end up chopping. Wow, we get lucky here. Still in the tournament. Sucks for him. He just had me crushed there. Here I end up picking up the gutter straight draw with the 6. However, I don't like hearts, so I'm folding. Yeah, definitely just going to jam all in with the king jack off here. And we have him crushed, so just have to fade a 6. And we've got a huge chip lead. 5-6 suited. Tempted to call, but I don't know what this guy's going to do, so I'm just going to fold. 4 deuce off. I just had to give him the chips. I'm not going to double him up with such a crappy hand. Here, I'm definitely snapping it off if he goes all in. And we just have to fade a deuce for a king. And he ends up, he ended up having the straight, but we ended up hitting the higher straight, so we got lucky there. That's 2 out of 2 so far, so not so bad. Here I'm going to make this max screen. So it's always nice when you win 2 out of 2. Things got pretty lucky for me in terms of variance on both of those. Ended up working out. I didn't get sucked out on. I did get lucky with the king 10 versus the queen. Here versus 3 players, I'm not going to bet. I don't think I have really any fold equity at all. I think if they have any pair here, they're calling. If they have a jack or a 10, they're calling. And I don't want to bloat the pot with only 21 big blinds. Again, on the turn, I'm going to check. I'm not going to try to take it down from 2 opponents. If they have air, then ace high is going to be good a certain amount of the time, so it's fine to try to get to showdown. When he bets, we just fold. Jack 3 off, definitely not going to be doing anything with his hand. Same thing with our queen 6 suited. Again, another junky hand, so just fold and live to play another hand. I'm not even going to be opening this from the small blind. It's just too weak. A 10-7 suited, 10-7 suited again. I still think this is a bit too weak, but actually, you know what? I think I will open this. This is actually within my button opening range. It's a little on the weaker side, but it's near the bottom of my range. We get snapped off by both players, something to pay attention to. When I raised on the button with my ace, I forgot what it was ace something offsuit. They both called me, so they're definitely not folding to steals. So it's something I have to pay attention to. Here we end up hitting the straight draw, so we have the gutter for the straight. Does give us a little more equity, but again, I just don't think I have enough fold equity. I'm going to be put to that position where I'm either just going to be jamming or folding again. Not really sure what this guy's doing. He's probably playing more than one table, just timing out over here. They both check. I'm happy to try to hit a free card, either a 10 or a 9. And the ace is not what I want to see, so pretty much we're done with this hand, unfortunately. And I don't think we can ever win this hand, and I'm not willing to risk my tournament by bluffing the river with only 11 big blinds. I think we would have to overbet jam. And actually, I am going to try overbet jamming here because they're both showing complete weakness. Hopefully we don't get snapped off. I'm down to 11 big blinds anyway, so I figure might as well give it a try. Everybody's checking, so let's give it a try on the river and see if we can get them to fold. If we get snapped off, end of the tournament. That's all right. Wow, it ends up working. Okay. Well, I wasn't too keen on doing that, but when they both checked it so many times, I felt like that was the only way I could win that hand. I think it's pretty risky because we're just adding chips, you know, when we're doing a three-way like this, where we're going to get us close to the money, but it's not going to make us in the money. You know, our all-in EV edge has to be a bit higher than our opponents. Ace-6 off. So this is either a 3-bet or a fold. I'm trying to get his stats to come up. So his fold versus the 3-bet. Don't have any stats on him. A pre-flop, his steal. It's 3 out of 5 times. I'm just folding, unfortunately. I mean, with that small of a sample size, it's too hard to tell. If I had more chips, if I was deeper stacked, then I think that 3-betting as a bluff there would work. But again, I only have 14 big blinds. Same thing with the 9-10 suited, either 3-bet or fold. We don't want to snap call because we don't know what this guy's going to do. And of course, he jams. This guy snaps it off with ace deuce off. He goes all in with the king 3. Unfortunately, we would have made the nuts, but that's all right. Nobody had clubs, and we would have pretty much tripled up there. Ace 4 suited, we're going to go all in. Hopefully, he just snap calls with almost any 2 cards because he snapped him off with a weak ace. But he's not snapping me off, unfortunately. So we're back to our all-in or fold strategy at 10 big blinds. Just praying to get some good cards. If not, well, that's how it goes. A 10-jack suited, definitely something I would be going all in with. And if he calls, then so be it. A7 off, so we got a coin flip situation, and we end up out-flopping him, and we end up taking it down. Oh, no, we don't. Wow, that was pretty sick. He hit the queen for the gutter straight. Whatever, is what it is. So that's going to go ahead and conclude this video. Actually, before we do conclude it, let's do an update on the graph. So I need to stop getting hands, and for those of you that have seen me do this before, I need to go into here, and we'll just do by today. And for these 3 tournaments, I need to update the amount that I won for the 2 that I won. So we will update this to $4. And we'll update this one to $4 as well. Okay, there we go, 4 and 4. And we refresh that. So we are up a little bit, and we'll just do all dates. And let me make sure that I make, this is Hold'em, and these are my Hyper Turbos. So 118 tournaments. Now we have won 38% of the time in the money. ROI is close to 19%. And net one is $43.20. So yeah, things are looking pretty good. Keeping a little bit of upward motion. Things did go our way, except for the last one. I felt that we were going to double up and be back in that tournament. Hopefully we were going to go 3 for 3, but we didn't. That's quite all right. Hopefully you're seeing a trend that a lot of the people that you play against here are just really bad. And like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just following my range chart. My range chart here, and basing my play upon these ranges. So pretty early on in these tournaments, you're going to get into the situation, unless you double up early, you're going to be into a push-fold strategy. And you're noticing that even when I'm getting junk that's down in here or down in here, and I only have somewhere between 5 and 7 big blinds, I'm not freaking out. I'm just folding those hands and I'm waiting until I get something within my chart and within my range. And same thing for being in the small blind. You notice that when we're in the small blind, we'll be jamming a lot wider than when we are in the big blind. This is the one thing I actually need to watch out for because I've been looking a lot at the button and not so much in the small blind. So I need to pay attention when I'm in the small blind as well. And if my opponent is min raising on the button, if I wake up with any of these hands, I should be jamming all in. Especially something I have been doing is when I'm down to 5 big blinds or less, is that I think that I'm folding some of these hands and I probably should be jamming them. And same thing for some of these hands as well. But anyways, yeah, pretty easy game so far. Like I said, lots of variance, but that's part of the game. I mean, look at this right here. This is pretty nasty early on, but so far from game 37 on to 118, things have been going at an upward pace with some downswings, but overall it seems to be going upwards pretty nicely. So anyways, that's going to go ahead and conclude this episode of our Jackpot Poker Series. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribing to my YouTube channel, go ahead and click down here to subscribe, and we'll see you at the next video.